13th of September, Rabbi Levitt. Try for Truth, Rosh Hashana. Alan, how good to see you again. How's it going? I heard you were in the hospital yesterday.
Yeah, it was hospital. Yeah, it was medication that caused me a problem.
Everything's okay now, I hope.
I think so. I have to go see the doctor again and see what she has to say.
Immune
It was
Hashem, got a good report.
it was medication that did it.
Yeah, yeah, that new medication, they changed it again.
No, it was yeah, well, they added a different one, and it was too much
Yeah.
to me. And
How are your feet doing?
they've been a little better. I mean, the new medication did help my left foot, so that helped. But still, I'm just very tired. And
Mishtaber Refuah Shalema.
yeah, thank you. It'll take
I'm
time.
Alan. Good to
So
see you again.
yeah, same here. So right now I'm having a little trouble with the computer. Color is gone, but Avi's wife can't make it over. His wife's going to come over and help me with the computer now. It's in black and white. I can't get the color.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so I don't know what's
God, I
going
never heard. That's one I never heard before.
on. There's always something new.
Always something. Yeah. Wow.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so my walking is much better. I had trouble the other day, and my balance is much better,
Here?
and it's improving. And it'll take
Baruch
time.
Hashem.
It'll take time. I think Mayor's on his way in.
Here comes Mayor.
Okay, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mayor. Okay. Almost everybody's here.
Hmm.
I haven't seen Roy yet today.
Okay. Hope he's okay. There's Hashem.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to continue over here.
So what were we up to? What were we doing? Oh yes, strive for truth. Okay.
Yeah, so
Just want to call you and check in.
so this is another point that I wanted to point out over here in the tefillas, that in addition to what we said, that we're asking for Hashem to reveal himself in the world, which means that his pachad and his ema will be upon the creations, and then there'll be a Guda Achas, and there will be also covered to Klal Yisrael. They will then there'll be Simcha in Eretz Yisrael, and in addition to that, and the tzaddikim and the yesharim, the hasidim, the three groups of elite groups of people will have tremendous simcha, and just we have one sentence at the end of the thing, at the end of this point over here, because what's all the simcha about? What's all the everything is the way it's is going to be good because kisavir memshela zodon mina oretz. This is also a part of an important part, a vital part of the revelation of Hashem's presence in the world. Is that the memshela zodon, the government of Zodon, of evil, will be removed. It won't exist anymore, and the statements and the actions of those who are in favor of that Mimshela Zodon will be no more. So this is the picture that we see over here in the tefillas. And now let's go to the next part. It says v'simlo. Now we're continuing to elaborate on this whole picture. We're not finished yet. We have one more paragraph, two more paragraphs until we get to the bracha of Amelech HaKodesh. So now we are going to go to who wants to read? V'timloch. Mayor, you want to read?
Well, I went to that bookstore to get the book, and they said they still can't get it. So I'm sort of on my own right now. I have to find another bookstore, I think.
Wow. A bookstore that doesn't have Machzorim for Rosh Hashana before Rosh Hashana. That's
I don't know.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the book either.
Well, but you do you have a Machzor?
Oh, hold it, a Moxer.
I have a monster, yeah.
Oh, that we're
Yeah,
doing-
what we're doing right now is we are going over the tefillas of Rosh Hashanah in the Machzor.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
So we are we did we're right before the we're two paragraphs until the end of the third bracha Hamelech HaKodesh, which is the third bracha of the Shmoneh Esrei.
Oh, okay.
And over there it starts with V'timloch ata Hashem levadecha.
But you're after or before Hamelech HaKadosh?
Before, one paragraph before, Lou.
Okay.
It's Vitim Loch. In my book, it's bold leathers.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, mine is bold also.
Okay, very good. So let's do this V'timloch. Mary, would you like to read us?
Okay. There, now I can read. I have this, the Moxer.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. It says, Vitim Loch, ata Hashem levadecha, al kol ma'asecha, v'har Tzion mishkan kevodecha. So it says, then you, Hashem, will reign alone over your works on Mount Zion, or Zion, okay, resting place of your glory, and in Uve Yerushalayim Yerkachecha, in your holy city, Jerusalem. And Kakatuv, it's written, B'divrei Kachecha, Yimloch Hashem li'olam Elokayich Sion l'dor vador Hallelujah. Okay, so in your holy, as is written in your holy writings, Hashem will reign forever your God, O Zion, from generation to generation. Hallelujah.
Now, when it says Mishkan,
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I mean, I know we had a Mishkan in the Midbar, but that was only in the Midbar. I mean, it continued until the Beis Hamikdash was built.
Right.
But then my understanding is it was stored away somewhere. How do we relate to that word Mishkan appearing in a contemporary context?
Okay, so good question. Right? When, in other words, yeah, when we think of the word Mishkan, we think, oh, the Mishkan of the Midbar. And now we're way past that. We came into Eretz Yisrael. We built a Beis Hamikdash. It was destroyed. We built another Beis Hamikdash. That one also was destroyed. And now, what's going to happen now at this time when Hashem reveals Himself and Mashiach comes? And what are we going to have at that point? So what we're going to have at that point is the Bayis Hashlishi, the Beis Hamikdash Hashlishi, which is the roughly the same as the first two, and there's not going to be a Mishkan. There's not going to be a Mishkan. A Mishkan was a temporary structure. So over here, it's not referring to a Mishkan. We're only going to have a Beis Hamikdash, but the way that we translate this word over here is we translate it not as the Mishkan that we know in the wilderness. We're not going to have that, but what exactly does the word Mishkan mean? The word Mishkan comes from the word the 3-letter shorish of the word is Shin Chaf Nun, which is also the same 3-letter shorish of the word Shekhinah, divine presence.
Oh.
And when we make it into a noun, we put a mem over there and we say Mishkan. And what does that mean? It means that's the place where Hashem will rest His divine presence. So we're saying that on Har Zion, which is the Temple Mount, that is going to be the Mishkan, the place of the resting of your Shekhinah, Hashem, of the Shekhinah, Kvodecha, your honorable, the honorable place of your resting is going to be over there, and over. So this is referring to the Beis Hamikdash Hashlishi, the third Beis Hamikdash. Okay.
So it's the place of the spiritual essence of your honor, of your kavod.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So right. Right, because this is the whole idea of a Beis Hamikdash. The whole idea of a Beis Hamikdash, the idea of a Mishkan, is that it is a place where Hashem's presence is perceived even in a physical, palpable way. When people would go to the Beis Hamikdash, they would feel that they were in the presence of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. There was no doubt that Hakadosh Baruch Hu exists. There was no doubt that He was dwelling with us, and there was no doubt that He was giving us a continuous flow of material as well as spiritual bounty. And without the Beis Hamikdash, we don't have this perception in such a clear way at all. No, not at all. We have a clear way. We don't see such a thing. But that is one of the great things that is going to return with the Beis Hamikdash Hashlishi. That it's going to be the Hashem's existence, His presence, and His involvement, and His total dominion in the world is going to be so clear. It's going to basically be undeniable. So that is what we are. That's the situation. Timloch ata Hashem levadecha. It will be very clear that you, Hashem, will be the only one who's controlling and ruling in the world. And this is and then it ends off with saying, and this is what it says in this pasuk that we say in the kedusha. We say this pasuk every day, right? 3 times in the Yimloch Hashem la'olam. Hashem, at that point, he will reign, and there will not be any interruption in his reign, like there was in the Bayis Rishon and the Bayis Sheni. There was he's going to reign uninterruptedly la'olam, forever. L'dor v'dor, from generation to generation. Okay, and now we go to the next paragraph, which is the siyum, the conclusion of this third bracha of HaMelech HaKadosh. And of course, everybody knows, and everybody remembers, and everybody's is paying attention, because they're saying the prayers from the Machzor, and to make sure that when you say this third bracha, the siyum of the bracha ends with the words HaMelech HaKadosh. The whole year round, the third bracha is Baruch Atah Hashem HaKeil HaKadosh. But here, during from the beginning of the tefillas of Rosh Hashana, we have, this is a major change in the tefillah, and it's mamish important. It's so important to say this HaMelech HaKadosh instead of saying HaKeil HaKadosh, that if a person, for some reason, whatever the reason was, it doesn't really matter, but if it came out of his mouth, HaKeil HaKadosh, just because that's what he always says, it's very understandable that he could do that, even though he's reading the words and he sees the word says HaMelech HaKadosh. But you know, the mouth has a mind of its own sometimes, and if he happens to say HaKeil HaKadosh, and so what he's got to do is he's got to immediately say, oh, I gotta say HaMelech HaKadosh, and if he corrects himself right away in the time that it takes to say Shalom Aleichem, Rebbe, which is about 1 second, then he's good to go on to the next part of the prayers. But if he didn't do that in time, or he forgot about it, or whatever it was, then he's got to go back to the beginning of the tefillah, to the first bracha, and start over again. So without getting into all the halachas, but we see the importance of the whole idea on Rosh Hashanah of saying that Hashem, when we refer to Hashem, there's always a reference to Hashem, that he's the Melech. So we say Baruch Atah Hashem, Melech HaKadosh, and Bez Hashem, with this, what that we said over here in the last few minutes, hopefully we will remember to do that on Rosh Hashanah. Yes. Okay. And now let's read this paragraph, because it's not the same paragraph as we say in the regular third paragraph during the year. So we go to Lu to read the Kadosh Atah.
Kadosh atah v'norah shemecha v'ein Eloka mibaladecha kakasuv v'yigba Hashem tzvaos b'mishpat v'hakel hakadosh nikdash b'tzedakah baruch atah Hashem hamelech hakadosh. Okay, so you are holy, and your name is awesome, and besides you there is no God, as it is written, and Hashem, the master of legions, is exalted in justice, and the God, the holy God, is sanctified in righteousness. Blessed are you, Hashem, the King, the Holy King.
All right. Right, so what can we say over here? In other words, the whole year round, we say Kadosh Atah.
What is this tzvaos? We see this all over the place. We translate it as legions or hosts.
What's that?
We translate it usually as legions, master of legions or master of hosts. What is this word doing in here?
Oh, that's tzvakot, yeah.
Yeah.
What that refers to is that we know that Hashem has a whole army. He's got an army and a navy and a Marines and an Air Force. He's got all different types of malachim. Malachim this one, malachim that one. This one does this one does that. And you know, there's a whole, you know, you can talk about that for a long time. All of the legions of Hashem. And the point with all of that, Hashem Tzvakos denotes the fact that, you know, sometimes when you got oh, 1 second, just a minute. Yeah. Hi, Moshe Baruch. Baruch Hashem. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a shir. So I could call you at 11:30. Okay. Okay, very good. So have a great day. Okay, bye. Okay. So this idea of Hashem Tzvakos, he's the Malachim. The thing about the Malachim is that they are totally under the Shlita of Hashem. It's a whole. I mean, there was one time in the world history, the beginning of the world history, that there was Malachim that didn't do what they were supposed to do. They went down and they set their eyes on the various women that were in the world, et cetera, and there was not what but a whole idea of a malach is that he does his mission. he's got a mission, and Hashem sends him on a mission. A malach really is a messenger. That's what a malach is. The word malach refers to the fact that he's a messenger. He's a messenger, and a messenger is somebody who has been sent by the one who sent him to do a certain shlichus, a certain agency. That's what a malach is. And the amazing thing is that we're not aware of any other time in all of history where a malach did not do exactly what he's supposed to do. It's interesting.
Isn't there an issue raised about the malach who rescued Lot?
Okay, that's that. But they did what they were supposed to do, but they didn't say. They said it with a bit of gaiva. Okay, fine, but they didn't defy the order of Hashem. What Hashem told them to do, that's what they did.
Right.
So the only time that we found, the only time that we ever found that they didn't do was this time in the like I think it's in Bereshis or Noach that Rashi brings in the name of Chazal that this is what happened with the Malachim. So what does that show you? Really, what this shows you is that a malach has free will. He has the ability. He's not a robot. He has the ability to do the opposite the Ratzon Hashem, and yet we find that, except in that one case, they do the Ratzon Hashem. So this is what we say when we're saying over here, Hashem he's the Baal Tzvakos. He is the master of the legions that even though they're not robots and they do have the ability to choose to do opposite what Hashem commands them to do, but they are so just being in they up where they are, being close to Hashem in the heavenly courts and perceiving Hashem in a direct and open way. It's as though they really, how could they do otherwise than what the Melech HaKodesh commands them to do? And so this is the lesson for us that we're pointing out over here, that Hashem is so great and so awesome and so kadosh that we should be also just have such a yiras haromamos, a reverence and an awe for who he is, that we would not dare do anything which would be against his will. Mm. So that's the idea over here, the Melech HaKodesh. Okay. Okay, so now that concludes the first three brachos, and now we go on to Atabach Hartanu. This is basically more or less what we say on every yontif. We could go over this also. You'll recognize this, in other words. I mean, you recognize all the davening, I hope, but you'll recognize that this is also something that we say on the other Yomim Tovim as well. Mayor, back to you, please.
Okay. Ata v'chartanu mikol ha'amim, ahavta otanu v'ratzita banu, v'romamatanu mikol halishonot, v'kidashtanu v'mitzvotecha, v'keravtanu machenu Karata. Okay, so Atav v'chatanu, you have chosen us from all the peoples. You loved us, and found favor in us. Oh, okay. And you exalted us above all, literally the tongues, it looks like. And you sanctified us with your commandments. You drew us close, our God, to your service and proclaimed your great and holy name upon us.
It's not our God, it's our King.
Shimcha Hagodol v'Hakodosh.
Oh, hold it. You're right, our King. Right, because this is Melech. We're dealing with sovereignty.
Okay.
So this,
Yeah.
this paragraph, I have a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
It sort of sounds like in this paragraph that it's Hashem is initiating our relationship with him. But the paragraph doesn't seem to say anything about us accepting what Hashem has done for us, unless it's going to come later, maybe.
You're right. Very, very good. Right. We're all of these. We got a few different things over here that we're referring to that Hashem has done. Number one, Atah b'chartanu. You chose us. You chose us. We are the chosen people. Ahavta osanu. You loved us. Now, incidentally, the I believe the Vil Nagon and others, they say that these different things that Hashem did over here, that we're talking about over here, refer to different times in history, different events in history. In other words, when was it that Hashem chose us? Atah b'chartanu. When was that? When did Hashem choose us?
I think when he chose Avram to do to go on his mission, and then he changed his name to Avraham.
Okay, but true, he chose Avram, but it says here, Atah b'chartanu mikol ha'amim. You chose us from all the other nations. So it implies that it seems to me it implies that we were chosen as a nation from all the other nations.
Right.
So at the time of the time of Avram, were we a nation yet?
No.
We weren't yet a nation, but by the time the Jewish people came down to Mitzrayim, and they proliferated over there from the Shvatim were there, and they had generations, and then the Jewish people were identified as a people. At that point, we were a nation,
Right.
and at that time, Hashem chose us to redeem us from the midst of another nation, and so that's according to the one of the commentators, that this is what it's referring to at that time, that Hashem chose us. He chose us to be the nation that was going to it was going to be his special nation. That goes back to the Exodus from Egypt. Yetzias Mitzrayim. Now, what about Ahavta osanu? When was it that Hashem loved us. What is that referring to?
That's a good
So,
question.
good question, right?
Yeah.
So the Siach Yitzchak, that's Rabbi Yitzchak Maltzin, one of the from the he's the commentator that they have in the Siddur Agra. He writes based upon the tradition handed down from the Vilna Gaon. He says this is referring to Matan Torah. Hashem expressed his great love for the Jewish nation at the time of Matan Torah. What was the great expression of love? Because he gave us his Torah. He gave us a tremendous present. When you love someone, you give them. This is really the definition of giving. That's what Reb Dessler says, that the word ava, he says, has a root in the word hav, which is an Aramaic word. But in Aramaic, we know that the word hav means to give. And so Reb Dessler has a whole kuntras about the connection between love and giving. And so this was the ultimate giving that Hashem ever did in the entire history of the world. That was the ultimate gift, the ultimate giving that Hashem did, that he gave the Jewish people the Torah. Ahavta osanu. Okay. V'ratzisa banu. And you wanted us, you had a desire for us. What is that referring to? That's very interesting over here. You can see over here we're going in the in chronological order in the history of Hashem's relationship and the Jewish people's relationship with Hashem. Which this is what my late Rosh Hashiva, Rav Aaron Schechter, Zeichet Tzadik V'Chodesh Levracha, he once said in a shmooze. They don't call it a shmooze in Chaim Berlin. They call it a mimer. It's a mimer. So he said really the entire history of the Jewish people is really nothing more than Hashem's divine providence over the Jewish people. How Hashem related to the Jewish people, that really is the story of the history. If you want to know what the history of the Jewish people is, that's the history. That's the real history. It's Hashem's divine, and this is really what we have over here in this bracha is a record of all of Hashem's hashgacha and all the things that he did with the Jewish people. So Ritzisa Banu refers to, very interestingly, look, after the Matan Torah, not a long time afterwards, very, very soon afterwards, the Jewish people did one of the worst sins in entire history, with the sin of the making and the worshiping of the golden calf. Not to say that everyone did so, but the Erev Rav did so, and the other the Jewish people didn't protest. They weren't so they didn't stop them from doing it, and they had some type of an affiliation with it as well, and that's what happened over there. And so that was the Chet Egel. But what happened after the Chet Egel? The Jewish people did. Moshe Rabbeinu appealed to Hashem, went up to Shemayim, and begged Hashem to forgive the Jewish people, and they should be able to continue. And what signified that Hashem had forgiven the Jewish people, and that not only that he had forgiven them, but he had a ritzui, a desire for them and a wanting for them. Usually the human reaction is when somebody does something to you and it was really a not good thing that he did to you, maybe, because that's what you're supposed to do, a person will say, okay, I forgive you, right? You forgive the guy. But after that, even after you forgave him, do you want to be his best friend now? Not usually. Not usually. That's not the ordinary human response. Halavai, the response is that he forgives him. But even that is a question usually. But here we see that Hashem is not like that. Hashem, what do we mean that when we say Hashem, Retzisa Banu, Hashem, you had a rutzen for us. You had such a rutzen for us, Hashem, that you know what? After we made the Chet Egel, not only did you forgive us, but you wanted to bring us back to you, close to you, even closer than we were before. And we got a Mishkan, and we got the return of the Anania covered. And so this signifies the unusual relationship of Hashem, that even when the Jewish people sin very egregiously, Hashem not only forgives them, but since he wants them so much, he takes them back even after such a wrongdoing. Rotzisa Banu. Okay, it's 11:29, and so we're right in the middle over here.
Okay.
We'll take it. We'll cut it off over here. We'll hold for here. We're in the middle of Baromam Tanu Mikol HaLashonos. Okay.
Good. Shkaya.
Have a great day, Mayor.
Thank you, and you two should have one.
Amen. Okay.
See you in 10 minutes.
Okay, Bezrat Hashem.